Hello. In today's video, we are going to be making iced coffee using an Aeropress and a DIY cold drip tower. Now you'll see that this method requires a bit more time and effort than making, say, cold brew, but there are some big benefits to a cold drip tower that we'll be talking about later. Hello, my name is Stephen Holm and I am with Homegrounds, where we help you brew and enjoy better quality coffee right at home. If you're new here, we'd love it if you subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment down below letting us know your favorite method to make iced coffee. Now today we are going to be using an Aeropress, which is an extremely versatile home brewer, and using it as a cold drip maker. And if you're unfamiliar with cold drip coffee, you may recognize the giant glass towers that are used in cafes, and if you don't recognize those, then now you do. So how do these brewers actually work? See, at the top you have cold water that gradually drips through a bed of coffee grounds and gives you a nice cold beverage at the bottom. And so an easy way to look at this is a cold drip tower is to a drip coffee maker as, say, cold brew is to a French press, because cold brew and French press are both full immersion coffee brewing methods, meaning that all of the water and all of the coffee is in contact throughout the entire brew, whereas with a drip maker or a cold drip coffee maker, the water is gradually flowing through the coffee bed. Now the tricky part with a cold drip tower is that cold water extracts coffee at a much slower rate than hot water. So our rate of flow of water into the brewer needs to be much slower. Hence why these fancy towers used in cafes actually have a nozzle adjusting the rate of flow of water to, say, a drip of water a second. So how does the Aeropress become our DIY cold drip tower? Well, first you can just get rid of this plunger, we won't be needing it. And then the base of the Aeropress is going to be the spot where we hold our coffee. Now the only trick is finding something to set on top of here as our holder for our cold water, and also find a way to have that slow drip out of our container into the Aeropress. So in my case, I'm going to be using a plastic cup. I've seen some people online that use a plastic water bottle. This is just what I had on hand. You just need something that can hold a good amount of water and that you can poke a hole in. And that's how we're going to control our rate of flow of water into the brewer. All we're going to do is poke a very small hole in the bottom of whatever we're using. So for me, I used a safety pin and just barely pierced the bottom, and that was enough for me. It may take some trial and error, but try not to use too much plastic in the process. As you can see for me, I'll go ahead and just plug the bottom and pour some water in here. And once I let this start dripping, we are aiming for about 1 drip a second. So how do we set this up? We're going to be using 2 filters and compressing the coffee between these in the Aeropress, similar to the method that we used in our Aeropress espresso video. So go ahead and place 1 filter at the bottom here. Make sure and rinse that. Now we're going to need to grind our coffee. So we're going to be using 32 grams of coffee to 450 grams of water. It's about a 1:14 ratio, which is a good place to start for this brewing method. And we're going to be grinding this on a similar setting to what we would use for a drip coffee. In my case, on my Baratza Encore, I am on setting 15. If you're used to brewing, say, a Hario V60 or just a normal drip coffee maker at home, start with that setting and adjust it from there. So once we have our coffee ground, I'm just going to dump it into our Aeropress on top of that bottom filter. And now we are going to take our second filter and just pre-rinse that, get rid of any papery taste. And just like in the Aeropress espresso video, we need to get that on top of those other grounds. Time to break out the paprika. All right, so just something that can fit inside of this chamber. I'm going to press. We don't need to tamp this down too hard. We just want a nice even bed on the top. Now what the second filter is going to do is basically just disperse the water throughout the grounds. So we're not just hitting the center of the coffee grounds and the water only extracting from the middle portion. Right, that looks pretty good. And now we just grab something that we can set the Aeropress on top of. sure we don't have any of our rinse water in there. And set up our tower like so. Now, like I said, we're going to be adding 450 grams of water right into this top portion. Perfect. Now you can see it's already starting to drip down there. And that's it. You just let it go and drip until all this water is done. Now, if you keep an eye on this brewer throughout the duration of the brew, you may notice that this flow rate coming out of the top chamber gradually slows down. And if that's the case, just grab something to sort of prop this up between the Aeropress. I used a metal spatula and just had it sitting right there just to elevate it above the Aeropress a little bit. Now, why would you even want to go through the trouble of using this method when there are easier ways to brew cold coffee like cold brew? And it's similar to what we were talking about earlier, with this method being similar to, say, brewing a hot drip coffee and cold brew being like a French press. It just depends what sort of flavors you are looking to get out of your coffee. Cold brew and French press being full immersion methods are going to give you a little bit more depth and body to your beverage, but won't necessarily have the brightness, acidity, and clean flavors that a drip coffee or a cold drip brewer will have. So if you're looking for an iced coffee that is similar to what you would get out of a drip brewer or a pour over, this is the method for you. And even though it may seem like a bit more of a setup and you have to wait a while for it to finish brewing, it's really not that difficult once you get all the pieces together. And if you enjoy this type of coffee, it's extremely delicious. So that's our method for making your own DIY Aeropress cold drip tower. If you have any questions about this, or if you go ahead and make your own, let us know in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and happy brewing.